The open courtyard and some of the columns still remaining. What I want to point your attention to almost immediately, the reason why this is called a double temple is because this column right in front of us here divides the temple into an imaginary two parts. An axis runs from east to west. We're standing on the western side of the temple right now. You see where the sun is coming up, right? We're sort of southwest. And everything in the temple is duplicated. What's on the left-hand side? To the right-hand side, this 1, 2 columns, these open papyrus columns. This side of the temple is the temple of Sobek. The left-hand side of the temple is the temple of Horaisis, or Horus. Horaisis is the name given by the Romans, but this is actually Heru, Horus the Elder. Now let's go inside. This side is the Horus. This is the Horus the Elder side, and here we see. First, let's move from the top. The cornice on top, in front of this facade, we see the urases, the cobras, and below, in the first panel to my right-hand side, we see the baptism or the purification of the Pharaoh Ptolemy the 12th. Here is Horus the Elder on the right-hand side, and Tahuti, the scribe. They are baptizing him. It's his purification before his coronation, which we will see on the other side. Now, you notice that they hold the jars and they're pouring water on him symbolically. But this water is not water as we know it. The water here comprises of two symbols. Comprises of the Ankh, which is the symbol of life, and the Wascepter, which is this object here, this one here, which you see, Ankh, Wascepter, Ankh, Wascepter, Ankh. This is symbol of, this is the symbol of royalty. All of the pharaohs have a Wascepter as part of it. Ensure to purify him goes through his baptism. He's not baptized. He's not become a holy person. And now he could ascend the throne. Below them you have the symbols of Upper and Lower Egypt. You have the papyrus, as we see here, open papyrus, and the lotus flower. Around them both, you have the uraeus. Here, you see the uraeus is here. There's this staff that runs all the way up here, and then the uraeus. By now you should know that the uraeus is a symbol of protection. What I want you to pay careful attention to is what is above us. So what's above us? What is above us is the flying vulture, representing a representation of whom? Who does the flying vulture? Mut, yes. Yes. And just over here in what is called the architrave. In the architrave, there is the flying uraeus with the sun disk. But let's back up a little so we could see definitive expressions of this flying uraeus. It's a protective symbol. You see, you notice uraeus on both sides, Upper, Lower Egypt, the disc in the center, and the wings. Horus the Elder, Ptolemy the 12th, and Tahuti. Notice again, these small entryways here would lead you down into the temple. I just wanted to make sure that you understand why it's double. What's on that frieze over here is repeated over here. One is for purification, and the other is for coronation. Now the king, the pharaoh, is purified, Now he's coronated. Let's go. Now, that first hall, you notice how higher it is? Look at the slab roof. As we go in, the wall, the roof becomes lower and the elevation comes higher. So you know you're moving to where? Holy of Holies. Here's the offerings being made. It's the offering chamber, and the offerings include fowl, bread, fruit. See the same here? Over here, you get a better look at the ankh and the scepter that is used in the baptism. In this antechamber, we get to see how things were close to their original state, and that is to say, there's a color. Exactly, the yellow and the red ochre, where the Pharaoh wears the crown of what here? Upper Egypt, and here he wears the crown of, what crown is this? Lower Egypt. Making presentations. All these are offering chambers. Here again, the Pharaoh comes before, who's this? Horus the elder, yes. You know Horus the elder by the crown and the hawk head, yes, hawk head. All right. But for us, one of the most important things in this chamber is behind you. Quite important. Now you see the Wadjet, the Eye of Horus, that constitutes the RX sign today in pharmacy. So you know right away this has something to do with a medical event, medical science. All right. Over here, we see this goddess on the Memesis stool, and this goddess is whom people? Isis, yeah. She's sitting on the Burton stool. Because Burton, as most women would know, I wouldn't know that. They would know that it seems to be like it's the most natural way to give birth because of the gravitational pull. I don't know why they put women to lay on their backs to bring forth their babies. Now here are some of the instruments here used in the medical arena. Seems to me like this is a pair of scissors, some of the scalpels, and here you have the basin that the physician would use to wash his hand before, right? Here you have, very important, look, I didn't see this the last time. You see right up there? Huh? Right, away. Exactly. And then you see the Eye of Horus there.
Meet brothers and sisters from the African world at the First World Conference in Aswan, Egypt from July 19th to July 25th, 2006, Re-Educating the African in the 21st Century. Our featured speakers include Drs. Asa Hilliard, Abdul-Alim Shabazz, Lily Golden, Ernie Smith, Marta Vega, Oba Tashaka, Andre McLaughlin, and Vimbai Chiavora, with featured artists Dead Prez and POW. Then join the 14-day Egypt study tour. Visit the temples of Abu Simbel, Isis, Kamambo, Karnak, Luxor, Valley of the Kings, the pyramids and the Sphinx, Nubian villages, and much more. Enjoy a 4-day, 5-star luxury cruise up the Nile, luxury hotels, and shopping. For more information, call 718-756-8904 or visit www.sankofaworldpublishers.com.
Horus the Elder, and behind him is this goddess with this feather on top of her head. Is who? Yes, Mahat. And then Sekhmet, yes. You could see part of the mouth of the lion, right? And you would find, if they were not destroyed, you find each one of them having the symbol of life on their hand, hold it in their hands. Everybody sees this? Yes. This whole area here is called Par Ankh, meaning house of life. This is the hospital. Again, Ptolemy comes before Horus, Hathor, and then he makes another presentation here. The number of presentations being made. Seems like this is a musical, it's like a sistrum with Hathor at the bottom. This entire wall is Ptolemy coming before the major deities. Here is for the first time on this wall here, we see him coming behind the other deity that this temple was made in honor of. That's Sobek, the god of inundation. All of the large, on this wall now, all of the large images are that of Ptolemy the 12th. You can tell what's on the frieze before, above. Yes, this wall was very high. Much higher. The favorite sign of both Damien and Nova. Tell them what it is. Here, look what I'm pointing to. Huh? All right. Let's move down back. Very important plant. Part of the medical arsenal for medicine. So this is what you're doing. You're actually in the hospital area of this temple. That's where you see all the medical instruments.